Summer 2024. I worked on a vampire movie, codename Grilled Cheese. In 2025, that movie released under its true name. This is part 2 of a few stories from shooting. Hope you enjoy. Please consider liking and subscribing, sharing it with a few friends. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I think they tried to open the door and they twisted our light. It's still on. It's still working though. That's how strong our work is, let me tell you. Oh, there's our light fixed. Look at that. Who did that? This guy. Here's a photo of the big moon. Big moon, that's no moon. Starting to go up. You can see the massive crane in the background. The rigging grips rigged up this crazy... I mean, it's not crazy. It's just truss, but it's big. I mean, I think it was a 36 by 36. You have to tie off the black. This is so light doesn't leak out everywhere. As I said, everything is controlled and you don't want light to leak. Light leaks are bad. Oh, that's an alligator right there. Come and say hi. What's up, bro? This is when we had lightning delay for like 3 hours. It was rough. There's the mini moon in action. This is a pettibone and a moon. This was like our main lighting source, honestly. I was super impressed at how well and simplistic. If you have the right tools, you don't need a lot to make it work. You just need bigger to make it work, which I guess is a lot. This is a lot. At its core concept, it's just one light. Even though there's 20, 40, 60, 80, so there's 80 lights in this. At its core concept, it's really only being used as one light. And it's a giant moonlight most of the time. And that's core of cinematography, baby. We could have done this with smaller and a lot more smaller lights on the ground bouncing up into smaller cards for a more individualized take, but this allows you to have more open space to shoot and have more freedom for the actors to do their thing in a space that's not confined by a bunch of equipment as well until you get into your like close-ups and stuff like that where you need to punch in and augment different areas. Here's a shot from the road to craft services. To the Shire, we called it. You can see big moon, big crane, little moon, little crane. All of the tents for Video Village and all the people that it takes to make a movie. While we were shooting it, it was not, I mean, it was fun, but it was not fun. It was work. There's no AC out here. We're literally in the middle of the bayou, and so that means there's no pest control, which means the bugs are all out there. So like the elements are definitely messing with you. Bug pants, those were very much featured on set and around set. Night in the swamp with no pest control. Massive lights might attract the most bugs that you've ever seen. They might not. It's definitely not a desk job, I'll tell you that. And it is fun. It is fun at times. I just want to be realistic about the work, you know? Like, it is a lot of fun to create stuff from scratch and build people's visions and create movie magic, but it's also a machine that is a slog that takes time and energy and is soul-sucking at times as well. So, you know, two sides to the coin, like every job. You can see, I think this is when everybody's like walking into the juke joint or about to walk into the juke joint. From over here, you can see all the little couples coming, and they're shooting the doorway. The camera's probably inside over here shooting out because you can see we have a menace arm right here, a little bulb. This is essentially being lit with like 3-4 sources. We'll say sources. We got boom, 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 plus all of our beautiful fixtures that kind of pop up. I lied. There's about 20 S60s. I looked over here and I remembered our boys having to go into the woods. I forgot about our brethren. How could I forget about our brothers in the woods? In order to have an image on a movie frame, you need light, right? If you don't have light, you have darkness. And darkness doesn't make a good movie unless you're Nosferatu. I had to make a dig at that one scene, just that one scene. I love that movie other than that one scene. It's so dark. So this is a power map. You can imagine each one of those boxes, multicolored boxes, has different power information and different network information on them for our lighting network. Most of our lights that we use can be programmed or dimmable into a dimmer board, where the dimmer board operator takes commands and calls from the gaffer when they need to raise or lower or change the color of the light or make a fire effect. And so each one of these boxes, there's basically what I like to call a love tub. The love tub has distribution boxes. It's got cables. It's got basically a cornucopia of copper for you to do the things that you need to do to make lights turn on. It's also got stations where the actual power is, where you can plug in. So you can imagine that we're shooting in the bayou, and so we need to bring our own power. If I'm not mistaken, we had 480 power out here, which is 4 times the amount that is coming out of your wall outlet. It can kill you. It can kill you. It'll melt you to the ground kind of stuff. 75% sure we had 480 power going into transformers, which dropped it down. We have to step it down, but basically it allows you to have a lot more power, so you don't need more you can have less generators and still the amount of power as having more generators with less voltage. As long as you're doing it safely, it's all good to go. We did that on Jurassic World as well, but we had 2 trailer power 480s and we had 6 regular generators on one set on that show. Each one of these nodes is all run out with power and copper and cables. Over a course of time, they basically cut out all this area, laid it all out, and made it the muddy patch that it became. This was an existing road, and they kind of built out a lot of this area and cut down a lot of the brush and bush. Kind of see the ring of fire that they made kind of going out around the whole set. So we would be able to go into these wooded areas and place lights. In the background, you'll notice that while it just looks like moonlight coming down or like just a random source of light, those are actually lights that we put into the background. If you look back here, you can see there's all these little lights back here. Those are all individual lights that our crew has to go and put in there as we're lighting up the big nighttime dark scene. This is where the electric department shines. Night exteriors, baby. Grips shine during the day and we shine during night. The question was it a prosthetic or was it Omar's actual bits? I didn't know that was happening when they were shooting that stuff over there, so I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to give it to Omar. I'm going to say it was his. I'm going to give it to my guy. Tall boys unite. Represent. It was funny, though, because, you know, the actors, like, they go through, like, 3 hours of makeup when they have, like, all that crazy gore and shit on them. They have to sit in a makeup chair for, like, 3 hours to shoot maybe 3 or 4 hours, you know, on set and stuff. And they're also sitting around for maybe 1 or 2 of those hours because they're shooting other people's scenes and stuff. So at one point, our boy Omar was just sitting in the Pettibone and just chilling with us, you know, like just chatting it up in between scenes. He was a cool dude. All the actors were cool. I mean, Michael B. I mean, we don't really talk to the actors that much because, you know, we're all there to do a job. My job isn't to fanboy over Michael B. Jordan being a very handsome man or Haley Steinfeld being a beautiful woman or the great actresses or My job is to make sure those fucking lights work, that my boss, the gaffer's happy, so his boss, the DP, is happy, so her boss, the director's happy, so his boss, well, I guess he was the producer, so as long as Ryan was happy, we're all happy, and it goes down from there. He was happy most of the time, I feel like. He's a hustler. He hustled for his film. He was out there shoveling with us when we needed to, you can imagine we're shooting in Louisiana. There's a lot of rain in the summer, and so it gets muddy. But when it gets muddy, things get stuck. So all those cars that were in there get stuck. He was out there one day shoveling the mud out of the way with the rest of the PAs. I mean, more power to him. There's not a lot of directors that will go shovel the mud. This is a condor light that is across the river, across the little bayou that we have. It is about 80 feet in the air. You can see on top of it, there's a lightning strike, which is what we used for the lightning. A lot of the lightning effects. Originally, I think they were supposed to have rain machines and rain, but after the normal rain of Louisiana got into them, you know, said nope. And we'll just do heat lightning. These are the notes that I send my bosses after 4 or 5 a.m. We need another one of these over here. Same fixture. This is some of the technology that we use. This is a RC4 wireless dongle, which allows you to send DMX signal wirelessly to a receiver. This allows you to program lights that run on battery power wirelessly. These are what we call balloon lights. You can guess what they do. They float and put off light. These are specialty lights that we do. We have specialty techs that we have in our union and around the area that they are basically balloon lighting technicians. Their job is to handle the helium, make sure all the special equipment that comes in is all good to go when it arrives, as well as tests all of it. They move it around. They move all of the little pieces that go with it because there's a lot of pieces depending on whether or not you're in tungsten mode or in daylight mode. They are pretty cool. I'm a balloon tech. Here's a full stick condor with a Vulcan and a looks like 360 and a moving light on the bottom. All those are used for lighting up night, making sure nighttime looks like night, which is kind of a weird thing to say, right? You got to light night to make it look like night. Oh yeah, that was me taking a picture of the line that snapped. Hey, who's that guy? Hey, fucking nerd. You can see how much different it is in camera than it is on the final screen, how much they do in post, how much you can get out of film, all that crazy. We had this Techno crane. This is a Techno crane right here, which is it's a crane, a jib, camera platform. It's on wheels, so it can drive around, but it's got a 30 or 40 foot arm and extension on it. I'll show you the cool The sequence. Everybody knows The sequence. Here's an interior lighting scene. Probably a 360 back there and or a 5K. We used a bunch of different flavors of lights inside, but you can see the featured lights right here. Yeah, look at these. Oh god, this is my world. This is what I do. We build lights to make them look like they are real and Cheez-Its. This was my main job on Sinners, was to maintain and help build and establish all of these lanterns. My bosses actually built all of these. I kind of put some finishing touches on them, but my job was basically to maintain and make sure that they worked and to eat Cheez-Its. Crazy complicated if you know what you're doing. Obviously, I don't think anything's crazy complicated if you know what you're doing. That's a statement, right? But it is cool. Like, this was my main gig on Interview with a Vampire as well, was creating and helping create and manufacture and fabricate all of the lanterns that were being used by the actors and the background actors, so they didn't have to keep lighting candles and having fire safety and stuff like that on set. You can imagine the extra steps that need to be taken when you have live flame on set in a period setting, and it's just a lot safer and easier if you're willing to spend the money on it to develop and build lights for the shot, for the scene. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe.